My name is Michael Munoz. I'm young, single, and just moved into my own place. The only problem is, I've never cooked a day in my life. Join me each week as I try to master one recipe at a time. This is Cooking with Michael. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Michael. Today we're going to be making some traditional tamales, passed down from my great-grandma and my mom's grandma, Juanita, my great-grandma Luz, my great-grandma Elena, my great-grandma Chencha, my mom's mom and my grandma Hermelinda, and my dad's mom Teresa, and my beautiful mom Clarita. So what we're going to need are corn husk, a bowl, corn flour, mole, manteca, onion powder, chili powder, chicken broth, baking powder, oregano leaves, a spatula, measuring cups, measuring spoons, paprika, jalapenos, green bell pepper, green onion, blocks of cheese of your choice, a chopping board, pork, a pot, and salt. So, alright, let's begin. Alright, so we're gonna get the corn husk. We're going to soak the corn husk in warm water. So we're going to do that right now. Alright, so now that the corn husk is soaking, what do we do next?
Shred the pork meat after it's cooked for 2.5 hours. So once you shred it finely, then it's ready to saute with your mole sauce in the burner.
Now what do we?
Now we get your mole into the burner. You put about 1 tablespoon of the, just grab a big scoop of that lard and take it first. It goes into your medium-sized pot here. It's great. And then it's going to melt. Once the oil is melting here, softening, get the mole. So you loosen the mole around the jar, and then you toss it into the burner here with the manteca. The whole thing. Here.
So we only have like a half a jar, so don't put like a whole thing.
Yeah, half the jar for about 2 pounds of pork. Put all of it in there. This one's already been pre-mixed, so normally the traditional way is when you have all your fresh chilies, dried chilies, you boil them, steam them, and then you put them in the blender. But this one has been already pre-blended and pre-made, so it's just easier, a faster step process. And then we'll use a plastic spoon. Sometimes if it gets a little dry, but it's just perfect like that once it melts down. And then you just add your shredded meat to the mole, and then it'll simmer for about at least good 10 to 15 minutes, so it can soak in the spices into your meat. And when you do that, soaking, simmering, then we start on the masa.
Those.
That's about. Yeah, then we can go ahead and pour your meat in there. Alrighty, use this chilies here. Perfect.
And how much meat is this?
It's like 2.5 pounds of pork shredded meat.
Okay, so first we're making the pork tamales, and then we're going to show you how to make the vegetarian tamales with using cheese and jalapenos.
Delicious.
Do we need to put a lid on it? Or
Yeah, there's this here right there. But you want to make sure you get all the sauce, bathe the sauce. Oh, look at this one. Bathe the sauce into the meat.
What's the beta sauce?
Like mix it into it. And then we can add a little chicken broth, just a little bit in it, so it can get a little liquid, so we can just pour like I guess a 1/4 cup. Just get it all soaked in there. and it's gonna simmer.
So like, when you used to see your grandma cook this, did she use measuring cups still, or she just eye it?
They would eyeball it, the measuring cups, and once it, because they've done it for so many years, when you basically start making tamales like the age of 10 or so, that's when you start being part of the kitchen. And then you start eyeballing, you recognize the measurements in your palm of your hand.
So you started when you were 10?
At 10, yes. And before that, like 5, was when they sit you around to little spread your tamale masa on the leaves. So it's really awesome tradition.
And there's actually a story about this tablecloth too.
Oh yes, this tablecloth was given to my mom from my grandmother, and then my mom after gave it to me. So it's 3 generations, this table cover. They used to use it to make tamales on the table. It was really festive for the holidays of Christmas. And sometimes in birthday parties, people like to make tamale dinners too for different occasions.
So you can make tamales anytime?
Anytime, yes.
So is this good?
Yeah, that's already done, and so you can just slowly cover it, and we'll just turn it off now so it won't burn. Alrighty, so that's done. Now we'll get your masa, and you're going to use 3 cups of masa flour. And what I'm going to do is melt 2 cups of the lard. And I'm going to use a microwave. Cups, yes.
That's 2 cups and 1 cup.
I'll get this here. This is a manteca, or it's lard that you can buy at the Latin stores. It's very, very delicious to have. So we're going to have, so it's 3 cups of flour, of corn flour, and 2 cups of lard. And then you want 2 teaspoons of your spices in there. 2 teaspoons every bit.
So after you add all your spices, add 2 cups of water. And stir it around.
This is 2 cups of hard melted lard.
Yep.
It's very hot, so be careful. So mix that in. Okay.
And what are we trying to make it into, like
A really fluffy dough. Yes.
Okay. All right. So what are we doing?
We're gonna add 1 teaspoon of salt. Sprinkle it in there, and maybe just a little more because we have like 3 cups or so. And that's it. And we're just trying to get that fluffy.
So you want it to look something like this. Keep mixing in so the salt getting into the masa.
Right. We add a little more like chicken broth just to blend that salt in.
Flavor.
The flavor gets. Alrighty. Okay. Yep, it's good to go. And now I'm gonna go bring the leaves down. We can spread the dough on the leaves and put the meat in. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Okay. So what we do here is on the rough side of the tamale leaf, you put about, I would say, a tablespoon. This one, I think. Sometimes you can feel like a shiny, a more rougher from the other part. So you get like at least about 2 tablespoons spread, and you want to do it like in the center. And the olden times, my grandma would really spread them, and my mom, they would spread them like all the way to the top here, kind of almost like to the edge, almost like quarter to the edge there. Because after you're gonna spread, the filling goes right in the middle. It depends also too how thick you like it. I like a lot of masa because it has good flavoring. Okay, so like that in the center, perfect. And then we get a spoonful of meat. Yeah, in the center. No, that's fine. And then we could either put the pot in the center. Oh, that's too much. right there. And then you just fold over, overlapped one to the edge, to the other edge, and then the other one to the other edge. And then you squeeze the bottom part of the meat and try and go as much as you can to the tip. Like we have a big leaf, we can fill up a lot of meat in here, Mara. So once you fill it up like that, you fold it and half back. My mom used to grab it, my grandma's like, here, squeeze them so it can be nice and firm. Yeah, but shape this up more to go higher. Keep it like a narrow strip. Perfect. And then we'll line them up on a tray. We'll line them up here, upward like that, and then fold back. Yes, perfect. The meat tamales are ready, and now we're gonna start off with the vegetarian.
Alright, so now I'm going to start chopping the cheese. I'm using the pepper jack cheese with jalapeno flavor and the mozzarella cheese. So now we're going to cut the cheese into thin slice, this thin, because once they go into the oven, they're going to melt quicker. So make a couple slices of the pepper jack and then the mozzarella. Now I'm going to cut the bell peppers, the jalapeno, and the green onion. So and we want to cut them with the strips.
Yeah, I have to work with the.
So this strip.
Perfect.
This size strip.
And one thing about these tamales is they're more thinner fold than the meat tamales.
Okay.
So it's really cool.
I remember Grandma used to make the sweet tamales with raisins or something.
Yes, brown sugar, raisins, and walnuts, and cinnamon. Oh, that was those are delicious sweet tamales too.
How many kind of different flavors can you make with tamales?
Basically, you can use, some people use seafood, from seafood to chicken, pork, and beef. So it's basically any types of meat filling.
Whatever your preference.
Definitely. Perfect.
There you go. Long strip of the jalapeno. And now we're going to cut the green onion.
Hi out there to my cousin Delia. She used to love to make tontons. And that would just be your plain masa with spice in the masa. And that was delicious with your nice coffee. Almost kind of like a bagel or a muffin. It was delicious.
But it was just the dough?
Just the masa dough with spices. It's so good.
And the masa is the best part. So you want to get your cheese and place it onto the masa that's already spread on the husk leaves. And then add your ingredients. Alright, so now when you have everything ready, you're going to get one of these pots. What is it called?
Steam pot.
A steam pot. And then fill the pot up with water at this line. And then there's a little plate in there where you place the tamales, and then the steam will cook it. And you want to cook it for about
an hour and 15 minutes.
Hour and 15 minutes.
And you're done.
Alright, so let's go. Alright, so after the tamales have cooked and steamed for an hour and 15 minutes, they're ready to enjoy. And I want to thank again my great-grandma Juanita, my great-grandma Luz, my great-grandma Elena, my great-grandma Chincha, my grandma Hermelinda, my grandma Teresa, and my mom Clarita. This is a tradition I'm going to keep going with my kids. And from our kitchen to your kitchen,
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
See you guys next week.